Okay, good morning.
Okay. Morning. We're continuing Shimches Sifir Zayin in Mokus Machos Gufo. Levenim Shinishar Mi'avinim Mutter L'Taltalam. If you have leftover bricks from building or other building materials, it's mutter to move them around. Orach Chaim Levinyan Mizgav Yisuf Shabbos Alein. No, it's not building material. I mean bricks dafka. Because then you can use the bricks or cinder blocks, let's say, to sit on. You can see from there, but if you stack them, go your day should hit on the vineyard. You see, you still want to use them. You're not just throw them out and they're using something else. But also the taltalam, it's also to metaltalim. Codes. The only question I would have is here next to coming up to Lag Bomer, so they have all these Rav Sados or the Rav Sadot, the building platform, the wood platforms that they use to deliver stuff on, and all these types of things. It's left over from a building site, or what do you pieces
pallets.
That's what they call, or building or wood pieces left over from a vineyard. Would that be considered Muktza and Shabbos because kids will want to take it for a bonfire? It's not chaining. It's not sitting on it. It's being taken for Muktza use, or it wouldn't be. But that would be theoretically something. Also, that idea of using some leftover from a vineyard that they a lot of times with kablanim, just let all the wood be because they know the kids are gonna take it away.
Actually, wood pallets cost a lot of money, and the kablanim do not want the kids to take it.
Yeah, okay.
So
The wood pallets,
the wood pallets are 150 shekel a pallet.
Right. The wood pallets not, but they have a lot of extra wood that could be they don't care about that or whatever. But the point of it, since that's for Bar Isser, it still will be Muktza. But that's the rayon, the same idea. Because Kotz of Munach Rishus Arabim, if you have a thorn, some sort of nail, or something sticking out in Rishus Arabim, something sharp, put to the taltal, papas up to the alamos, you're allowed to pick it up and move it. Papa the alamos, over carmelis, mutal the taltal, the hedja, mission the chashina shemizuku barabim. There's something which from Mazik the Rabbim, you were allowed to go ahead and even carry it in Shus Rabbim, whatever, even if it's something dangerous, anything like that. I mean, obviously not Pekuach Nefesh, but anything that can get hurt from, you're allowed to move it and pick it up and even carry it, pachos. And then the carmelis, you can pick it up and move it completely. That in a place of Hezek Zerabim, there's no shvus, there's no Muktza, any other shvusim, whatever, there's no problem. You can allow to misalik these things. Be a dime, right? Be a dime.
The glass bottle smashers. The glass bottle smashers in the road, and there's lots of.
We saw it was in this earlier sif that you're allowed to pick up as well. Even in the house with your kids, this whatever, you're allowed to pick it up. Sulam shel aliyah shel gadol va'osi latiach b'ol gago. If you have a ladder and a tall ladder that you use to go on your roof, also the taltalo v'shel shoydach, but that which of a coop or whatever, a pitching coop, mutal and toisam and makom, then you're allowed to move it from one to the other. You can move it from side to side. You can't move from one shovach to the other shovach. Because if you start doing things, if you start doing things which are regular during the whole, you might come to go ahead and to say that you forget it's Shabbos. Here the ladder is Muktza because it's Muktza Machos Gzeira that you might come to go ahead and put it there and forget that it's Shabbos and do your regular daily. You see a bird there, try to catch it. So that's therefore moving the ladder is also. Hariyos. Enough shall dekel shektzatz on the sreifa. You cut off branches to burn. Like I said, for long gomer. V'muktzim hay, but also the taltalam. Even though you could use them for something else, if you put them aside to burn, then they're also to the taltal. Yoshev aleim ma'ad v'yom. You want to sit. You decide you want to sit on the logs or something like that. Mutar leishav aleim b'Shabbos. You're allowed to sit on them on Shabbos. And especially if you go ahead, even though you're going to burn them, but let's say a kid, they make what's called, but a lot of them make these like called machaneh. Here in this country, this country, a lot of kids, they build their own little treehouse or ground house, whatever it is, and then they use the wood to burn. So if they use that wood to build like a little camp or something or whatever before Shabbos, and they continue using it on Shabbos, even though they're eventually going to burn it. Or even if you just thought about, okay, I'm going to use it for something else, I'm going to sit on it, whatever. During even thinking about it we'll go ahead and let you use it, even though besok you're going to use it to you're going to use it for sveifa, but right now you want to use it for this thing. However, if you have a pile of stones, also, even though you thought about, I'm going to use these stones to to sit on them, it doesn't help. It's also. Like they used to say, the protesters, the miyachid the stones to throw people, whatever. The more people talked about it, I don't know. Pashas is also talking about leishiv, I don't know if you have to actually sit Eileen Kane, lean to them, see to them, you set it up. So they said they were beside with them to throw. Doesn't make sense. Maybe if he actually started throwing it at people before Shabbos, he can pick them up and throw them again. I don't know. I don't think so, but it's okay. It's a chiddush. Some say no. Some say it's just like hariyos, and even chayin ikr. And the truth is, so that's there. Can we rely on that? Whatever. I don't think they should. That's the tashmish iser ba'akupanim. But if stones, if you thought about a different use before Shabbos, that is enough to go ahead. That's just like hariyos. That's what the Rama is Mekil, but the Magen Avram and the Mishnah Berurah seem to be cholok on the Rama and machmir that like the Mechaber. Also, lichsais piachavis be'even. You can't cover a barrel with a stone or a bikas or a piece of wood or lisgomen as a delis, or use wood or stones to proper door clothes or lahakos behem barza or to ikalish v'sim v'chavis v'hutzi yayim, and you knock it in to get out wine, and you knock it a little bit more so the wine comes out.
It's just a regular tube of bamboo or something like that.
The bars is the spout, and you're taking a stick or you're taking a rock and not banging it so to start the wine to flow or you get a little more wine out. Something like that. You use
a rock as a hammer.
As a hammer, yeah. This is going to be my. I'm going to use it for the Shabbos. It's also still Muktza. You can't use it unless by a stone or by a piece of wood or things like that, which are that only if you this is my wine baking stone, whatever it is. You put it by the thing, it's in the perfect size. I'm always going to use it for that, fine. But otherwise, you can't just decide, okay, this is I'm going to use this right now. Well, in Yichel l'Shabbos zedul v'lo. I mean, the Shein dark on Yachtel l'Kach. The Hanidam, a stone. You don't usually use a stone to go ahead and to bang this. Anything which they do use it for this. Let's say you have a rock. I want to use this rock to crack, not to crack open a coconut, something like that. So then that would be okay. Then you can just say before Shabbos, listen, I have this stick or I have this stone. I'm going to use it to crack open a coconut. So then that would be mutter because that people do use it for that. Some paskin that it makes no difference. Some say that you need to do at least do something to it, which obviously that's not the feel. You should do something, not to say it. Maybe even you have to do something to make it show that you're being miyachid it. However, the Rama says, "I am the observation test." The biyichud sagi, the I paskin that even with a vanim, everything it's mutter to go ahead and just to miyachid it. You don't need to actually do anything if it's something which is it's normal. It's normal. It can be it's generally used as such a thing. Rav Gilman, mutter lachtav anach min hadekel l'boyyon. You can't it's mutter to cut a leaf off, take a branch off a palm tree before, on Shabbos. Mutter lahanif shulchan b'Shabbos lahariach zvuvah. You can take a little small palm branch and use it to the fly swatter.
Fan away flies.
Fan away, not swatter, killing.
Yeah,
right?
swat.
That's the Zura points out that yes, that killing. You have to be careful not to kill the flies.
Fanning the flies.
Yeah, you can. Fan them, or you can even probably
Shoot them.
whatever. Keep on the tzorach chasna asol kli gomer, since that's why you cut it off, so then it's a kli, even though it was a piece of a stick or something, but it's a kli. Pishtan savar b'semer menupats shneisin alamaka. Let's say you use a sort of cotton. You take cotton. You have cotton wool. A thing of cotton, not cotton balls, because those could be a more mucha. But then you get a whole thing of cotton wool, and you take a piece that you want to use it for wounds or something like that. Shneisin, because that's more common. Pishtan savar or yotzemer pishtan savar. Shneisin alamaka. You put it on a wound. Im hashem lo goyoi the sitin alamaka. If you thought about, okay, I'm going to use these cotton balls I'm not sure about. Let's talk about cotton wool, the whole thing, a pack of cotton wool. So you want, okay, I'm going to use this for treating, every cut, so I'll put it on my cut on Shabbos, so that's okay. Or you sat with them, you attacked them, before Shabbos, or Shetzavim b'Shemen, you put some medicine on it, or you put, some siman. The Gali Daikid in Lamaka Kaima, you show that this is for Maka. You put it, maybe, I don't know, if you put it in your first aid kit, first aid drawer, I don't know, that also could be work, I don't know. Osher Kracham and Meshicha, Litnam al Hamaka b'Shabbos, or you put tape on it or something, or robe it also to show you're going to wrap it on a Maka on Shabbos. Sula through Mishum Muktza. Then it's not Muktza. Mishum Refuah Nami Lekam. There's not Yisra Refuah. She'el K'mo Malbush She'yisar Tu Begada. The point of this is not to heal. The point is a pad to go ahead and put it on so that you won't go ahead and won't aggravate the wound. Obviously, if it's a cut, the person has a cut, you're allowed to put the bandage on Shabbos. That's the Hilchos Refuah. If you have some sort of cut, but it could be with a scrape or something like that. We'll get into those more specific over there, but Al Kapanim, this is just, you have a scrape or something, or a padding for a bruise, let's say, or something like that, so that you'd be allowed to set aside some cotton or pieces of fabric, whatever it is, to cushion it.
This Pishtan Saruch B'Tzemer Menopaz is like miyuchad otherwise for clothing?
Clothing, yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I used to use a block of wool, not broken into balls, and I would pull out strings and make wicks for Shabbos.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can use this wool for
many things.
many things.
Right. Some say that you can't do machshav, you actually have to do a ma'aseh to attack it for to go ahead and make it not muktza and these as well. Oros Yeveshim. One second. Say that I'm heard about Shaila about some of the sheet is they asked, but everyone agrees that the machshava. It's not so the sheet is a little bit unclear in the Rishonim. That's not Nahar, so therefore the Nahar tends to be night till like the first days, the first day in the Tzmoter. Chafei Oros Yeveshim. You have dried leather, dried out skins, hides. Bein shel uma, bein shel ba'abayis, put to the taltal, and you are allowed to carry them around. Haga yesh orim delafka oris behemagasa lechazi leisha b'leim. Only if it's a behemagasa you can sit on them. But behemadaka also lechashiv leisha b'leim, because those things are made usually people will sit on a big hide of an animal, a thick skin, but a thin sheepskin. You'd have to go ahead and think about it before Shabbos to sit on it and to use it. Nasar Shabbat Bayis, look to the Taltalan. If you have planks and things of Balabayis, from Sukkah, to the Taltalan Shavuman also, but the Uman is also because they're worried that you can pass The Orach Chaim and Tashish Achar. Say you have a little block of wood or something like that. So the Baal Bayis, he wants to use it to serve, so that's okay because we're going to do it anyway. But if something of a kablan, of a builder, or a carpenter or something like that, so since they generally use that during the week for schur or for work or for whatever it is, so then that would be, that would be Muktza on Shabbos, and that's a machas chasam kiss, because they don't want to, the Shabbat says, that that they don't want them to get ruined. So it's like a Muktza machas chasam kiss. But Rabal Bayis, they don't care. It's not, you're not going to use it for work or anything like that. Unless you miyachad it before Shabbos to use it as your collar board, so that would be okay. Atzamos shiruyim l'klovim, bones which are ruy for kelevs to gnaw and to eat whatever. Klapim shiruyim l'maychal behema, or you have shells which are ruy for maychal behema. Opirum she'edim kazayis, or you have a bunch of crumbs on the table. That people are just, to Michael Behema for birds, whatever it is. Since they are Rory the Michael Behema, so they're not Muktza, even though, so therefore you're allowed to clear them off the table. Aval im ein haklapim, klipim, Rory the Michael Behema, also taltal. But if they're not Rory for Michael Behema, then it's also to taltal. For example, they say of eggshells is a classic example, which are things which are not really the life of the behema. And the other thing, like I don't know if pistachio shells. Sunflower seed shells. I don't know, but pistachio shells. I don't know. I don't think it's very hard. I can imagine people don't usually feed them to whatever. Ella minayer is a top. So what do you do if let's say you peeled an egg? Or you have a bunch of nutshells, things like the heart, things like that. Minar is a tabla behem knifin. So you shake the table and it falls on the floor. You shake it into a garbage, something like that. In yesh pas al shulchan, if there's pas on this tray, mutal hagbia tabla taltal ima klipim she'ena ma'ifal behem. Then you'd be allowed to ayudei the pas. You'd be allowed to pick up the table or the board or the tray or whatever it is and carry it. To throw it out. Let's say it's on your plate. We'll get to it a little bit more into this, but let's say it's on your plate. You have shells on the plate. You have some other. Let's say you keep the nut. Let's say you peeled a bunch of pistachios, whatever it is, and you have a pile of pistachios on the plate with the shells. You're allowed to pick up the plate and dump the shells off the plate.
What's the difference between menayer and metaltel ayudei tabla?
Menayer is you just tilt it. Menayer means you shake it off. If it's on let's say you just tilt the table so it falls off.
Why is that not like a tiltle?
That's been a tzad, because you're not picking them up with your hand. You're picking the table up. You're picking the table up. You're picking the board or the plate up, and you're not touching them.
You're making it move from its place.
Yeah, that's okay. Because the minute tzad is you pick it, like if it's something on your bed or on a table or anything like that. If you pick up the table, pick up the bed, something like that. If it's on a buses, then you can shake it off, and that's okay. That's called tiltul min tzad, because you're not touching the actual muktza.
No, I'm saying the difference between needing a pas ala shulchan in order to be
pas is you're picking the table up. That's the thing. The thing is, here I have a small. Let's say you have a small table. That's why I said the tray. Here the shulchan stuff, maybe you have like a small table, and there's shells on the small table. So you put bread on the table, then you can pick up the little table and the little tray, as I said, a tray, and move it, and then dump, and then move, pick it up and move it towards the garbage, and then shake off the shells. The pass is more chashuv. But if you need place on the shulchan, I feel you're allowed to move the table. It doesn't become a basis. Now, when it comes to the lemaisa is that this is a bit more complex. The halacha is that you were allowed to do tiltul min tzad to get off eggshells, things like that. And if you put it on your plate, it does not become a basis. So the thing is, the Shabbat points out that if it's disgusting, right, if you peel something and there's bones and garbage or whatever it is left after the thing, you're allowed to clear the plates because it's gross. It's called a graf shori. Even if you don't care, but your wife cares, whatever, or a person.
Someone needs to care.
Someone's going to care, right? I mean, or batla daito, I don't know, whatever. So that's a graf shori, so you're allowed to clear the table, or if people have the plastic table, all the plastics, if you use disposables, we can wrap up the table, or tablecloth and everything and throw it out, because that's to be considered a graf shori. If you don't, if it's it's unchaining, if it's not to the point of graf shori, then you're allowed to. They said you're allowed to go ahead and to use a knife or a sakin or some sort of brush to brush it up. It's also considered tiltul min hatzad, who in sweeping the floor. It's also considered tiltul min hatzad for these types of things. It's not considered you're not picking up directly, so that would be considered also be tiltul min hatzad, which would be motor. Like I said, if you have let's say you have a pile of stuff, of garbage or whatever it is, I said if you really, if you have a hard time, whatever, you can, like I said, you can put, a piece of bread or something like that to carry it to the garbage and then dump it out. If you have bundles of wood or straw or something that you set up for Michael Behema. I feel like big things of hay. Since for Michael Behema, you are allowed to carry around. You're allowed to carry any animal food or anything like that. You are allowed to carry around. There's not Muktza. Kol shu roy the Michael Chayav ofam mitzuyim. Metaltel, so anything which is void for any regular animal is mutter metaltel. So the Muktza im ena roy el Michael Chayav of she'ena mitzuyim. It's only you have let's say you have buffalo food. I don't know, whatever. You have a moose food. I don't know, whatever. In Canada, I don't know. And you want to go feed your moose. So then that would be a problem. And yeshlo also min chayav, but if you have a moose, then min chayav mutter l'taltel meichel v'uri lo yisrael min. If you own one, you're not going to go out to the forest to feed them. Then you're allowed to go ahead and to keep the food. In love also, but if you don't have that type of odd animal, then it would be also. Our God will feed them, or let's say in the zoo. In the zoo, any of the animal food in the zoo will be mutter, since they have all these exotic animals, and they need specific food, it will be fine. Let's say you have bamboo, right? Bamboo is Muktza, but I want to go to China to feed the pandas, it would be a problem. But if you're in a zoo and you have pandas, you can carry bamboo. So he said, you can take off the bones, which are, you take off the meat, whatever. Shabbos and Ruri L'Klavim. If the Ruri L'Klavim, so then you're allowed to move the bones around the Klavim. Mitzuyim, dogs are Motzui, and you are able to, you're allowed to move it. Garini Tamarim, B'makum Shemachilim Ayson L'Behema, Mutter L'Taltalam, date pits, places where they do feed animals, you're allowed to go ahead and to carry them. Because since it's not clear, it's from Michael Behema, there are places, but since it's not everyone knows that, so Adam Choshev should not show he's carrying these things around. If people think he's carrying Muktza, even though he knows it's not, it's better. He should be machmir because it's unclear. The basar chai, if you tafel, einish in a meluach klal, you have completely raw meat. Butul l'tafel, you are allowed to go ahead and to carry raw meat. Mishudachazi leumsa, because you're allowed to. It's mutter to chew on a piece of completely raw meat. Obviously, that you're allowed to. You're allowed to go ahead and eat it completely raw. Well, once you start cooking in the hilchos dam and melicha, that's when you start doing melicha. That's when the dam starts moving, it becomes aser. Otherwise, dam is inside the piece of meat, and if you eat it completely raw, you're not eating dam because it's balua. It's only when you start cooking it or you start doing melicha, the dam starts moving around and coming out. That's when it comes aser. But otherwise, if you have a completely raw piece of meat, you're technically allowed to eat it. So therefore, it's not Muktza.
Unless it's frozen.
Frozen, right? Frozen means it's not worried to go ahead and to do umsa, to eat it all. So then that would be also the general the placing policy that it is a problem. If you have old meat you found in the back of your fridge as you're pulling the salads out for Shabbos lunch. Most of the talzalo is you're devoid of the clothing, since you can go ahead and throw it out to the dogs, then it would be mutter b'talzalo.
Yeah, dogs and cats will also chew on frozen meat.
Okay, so frozen meat I have to look into a little bit. I also look into a little bit. Yeah, because they did the front. And the Seder, I think we will stop